Candace Owens recently revealed herself to be a moon landing truther. Interesting. So now, in a post to her Twitter account last Friday, and by the way, this is supposed to be on a more fun note, which is hilarious, Owens decided to have a little bit of fun by posting her favorite conspiracy theory. Interesting. So let's show that to you. Now for some lighthearted fun. What's one conspiracy theory, no matter what anyone says you believe is true? Mine is the moon landing in 1969 was completely faked. Just nothing about it makes sense, especially NASA accidentally erasing the original footage. The biggest thing for me is fuel tank size, plus a live broadcast with audio from the moon. In 1969, I just cannot. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm with you. I can't either. I can't either. Wow. Just wow. Hey, Candace, here's a thought. Just because you might not understand something doesn't mean that it's fake. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen just because you're not smart enough to understand it. And I'm not trying to be derisive about that, by the way. I am saying that, like, you haven't went through the education. You don't know what physics and engineering can actually do and how to make these things work. Because you're a talking head on television, paid for by the right wing to say insanely stupid things. So yes, you're not going to understand that. That doesn't make it false. Now, again, we all know that Candace Owens is nowhere near to being a rocket scientist. All right? And look, and I say that because she has been constantly pushing vaccine disinformation, of course, because she also seems to not understand science and sells stuff on her website that could possibly turn you blue. That's the colloidal silver. So yeah, no. Hey, look, this is like me saying, I don't understand what's going inside of Candace Owens' head. Therefore, I don't believe there's a brain in there. I actually believe that there is, instead of a brain, just a pile of oatmeal. And if you don't contain it, if she doesn't wear earplugs, the oatmeal shall leak out of her ears. That's my favorite new conspiracy theory, that her brain has been replaced with oatmeal. All right, so no, but okay. Going on. So, you see, I don't believe it because, we didn't have the technology back then in 1969, but we had the technology to CGI the moon landing? No. No, we didn't. But what about the lost tapes? We got the lost moon tapes. Well, okay, there's a difference here, and that actually stirs up something interesting. Because, look, there's a difference between losing actual physical tapes, or not really necessarily losing them, but like erasing them, and which is what NASA is saying. NASA says, yeah, we looked for them, and we think that some of the people just erased the footage and used it for something else. Now, why would you do that? And understand that it's within that ambiguity of saying something like that. That's where these conspiracy theories are born, right? So now look. Oh, I'm sorry, not a CGA, set design. That's what it had to have been. No, of course. It's still a ridiculous theory, but true. But anyway, now, as far as the lost footage is concerned, right? Again, NASA admitted that, yeah, we couldn't find some of the tape. However, that tape is the original tape. We still have all the footage. We still have all the data and information. We just don't have the original. So now, original being defined as directly recorded data transmitted from the moon. Now, according to NASA, an intensive search of archives and records concluded that the most likely scenario was that the program managers determined that there was no longer a need to keep the tapes, since all the video and data were recorded elsewhere, and that the tapes themselves were erased and reused. Now, does that make sense? Yeah, it actually does. It's a cost-saving measure. Now, again, the data on those tapes had already been relayed to what was then the Manned Spacecraft Center, now the Johnson Space Center, during the mission. So the video was not only recorded in different places, it was recorded, it's not only recorded there, but also in different places. So, in reality, there's no missing footage from Apollo 11. None. No missing footage from the moon landing. Sorry, Candace. No, not true at all. So now, of course, as a result of this, Twitter came in to dunk on her in some pretty fun ways. Now, first, more serious. The Xeno-Red says, it literally couldn't be faked with the technology back then, and the Soviet Union, who was one of the most competitive times of the Cold War during the time of the moon landing, would have been the first to say that it wasn't real. But the moment they measured radio signals coming from the moon, you know, radio signals which travel through space and travel actually for a very, very long time. In fact, look, there are still radio signals that have emanated from this planet since like the 60s that are making their way into deep space. So, you know, radio signals. Now, the Russians, back in the day, they picked up those radio signals and realized, oh, they are coming from the moon. And of course, there's all the people who saw the rockets. There's the people who, you know, were actually there. The scientists that have worked there that have come out and said, yeah, no, we actually were on the moon. And so, again, it would really be difficult for this to be an actual conspiracy theory when you have so much evidence of people saying that, no, it actually literally happened. Even the people that were there. But anyway, there's more. Andrew Minotti says, my conspiracy theory is that you don't actually believe most of the things you say. You're just saying them to make money. Another person says, my conspiracy theory is that my mind invented Candace Owens at the tail end of a week-long Funyuns and bath salt bender. I hope you're okay. Seriously, because that's some serious stuff. All right. Another person adds, so what you're saying is America's signature geopolitical and scientific achievement of the 60s and 70s was a scam, and America wasn't really as great as you always tell us it was? All right. Another person says, this is Mark Perella on Twitter, Candace, I once had some respect for you, but no longer. It's funny how this is the line. This is the line. All right. I work for Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Not only did the 6 moon landings happen, but the science that came from these events makes this tweet possible. Duna says, translation, I don't understand technology, and I have the belief that everyone who lived before me, basically living in the Middle Ages, which I also know nothing about, ergo they couldn't have done something I myself have no idea how it works. Lion says, this is amazing self-report. Thanks, Candace. Even her fans, as I mentioned. One person says, normally I'm with you, Candace, but on this, we're going to have to agree to disagree. Those are just some of the examples here. Let me just share my conspiracy. If we're going to share our favorite conspiracies, well, I've got one, and I've been pretty honest about it. I'm pretty sure that there's alien life out there. I don't think that's a controversial conspiracy at all. I think the odds of the human race being alone in the vast cosmos is infinitesimally small. And I think it's also ridiculous. Now, that said, do I think that aliens have come here? I have no idea. I got no clue. I can't prove it. And so I don't know for sure. I'm certainly open to the possibility. And so there's that. I mean, there's mine. I do absolutely believe that aliens exist. But hey, if you want to share your conspiracy, if you want to make fun of me for mine, that's totally fine. Leave a comment. And I look forward to reading them.